worthy by design. How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. That's a popular quote from Rupi Kaur. Now, today's conversation is a reminder that you too deserve your love and are worthy of it. Hello, thanks for joining us on today's edition of Worthy by Design, brought to you by Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNNTV. On this show, we focus on the journey from girlhood to womanhood and everything in between. I'm Iberi James. Welcome. Today, I'll be discussing on the topic, love yourself, you are worthy. And to do justice on this topic with me is one of my favorite people, Chinwe Odinye. It's so good to have you.
Thank you very much, Iberi. It's so good to have myself back here. Thank you so much.
Okay, so our conversation on love yourself, you are worthy.
Yes.
Why do you think it's even important to talk about this in the first place?
Why do I think it's important? Why do we think it's important?
Yes.
Because we need to change some redundant norms in womanhood or motherhood. Because we need to start making it a popular, well, I say popular demand that women and mothers should look as beautiful inside as they also expect people to see them physically. So we don't want situations where mothers look confused, harassed, overworked, pressured. It's important that we begin to radiate inward and outward beauty, better composure, better outward appearances. We also need to understand that women should now be in a situation where we now understand how to manage our emotions, manage our environment, manage our triggers. Disassociate ourselves from disassociate ourselves as much as we can from many emotional triggers. Learn to keep yourself in a way that you don't appear sorry, or you don't make people feel sorry for you. Yes. So it doesn't look like you're coming from a troubled place. Whereas you might not just be coming, but probably you have not learned to put yourself at the same level with those who you also care for, e.g. our kids.
True.
We spend so much time shopping for our kids, taking good care of them, beautifying them, getting them ready for school, their lunch boxes, their this and their that, and then we zoom out into the car off to school. We need to take a step and just stand and look in the mirror. Before I step out of my house, what do I want people to see? Do I want people to see a woman who is looking neither here nor there, or a woman who still holds her strength, who commands her being, who has a certain level of balance in this life?
So what you're trying to say is that loving yourself shows that if you love yourself, people can easily see it.
Iberi, let's start with how, if you love yourself, how does it or how should it show?
Okay.
Because you can think by loving myself, I'm looking, and no. Society is saying, make it a conscious effort. Now, stop making it look, I beg. Be conscious. If you love yourself, show it to yourself. And then make that conscious effort of, I don't want people to see me this way. I want to be seen better.
And I don't want to feel a certain way.
I want to feel better. So you don't want to step into an environment and then you are pictured as the sad looking one, or the confused looking one.
And our society is driven by perception.
Yes.
It's what people see or perceive about you.
It's what they give back to you. That's how they give you. Say, dress like you want to be addressed. I think that's even the major motto for this conversation we are having. Dress like you want to be addressed. If you are very content with natural composure, natural disposition, we don't have a problem with that. I think women should be able to identify their natural beauty and be confident with it. But look, I won't want to use the word neat. It might be too strong, but look presentable. Tell yourself, I'm good to go. And you will be really good to go. You see, when you do this, it helps your home.
How so?
It helps the spouse appreciate you. And then it teaches those little ones you're nurturing that there's so much good in this world just looking at my mom.
Okay. Before we come to the little ones, right? You talked about it tells your spouse, right? But some people say, men don't even see all these things. You see all this Brazilian hair? You see all this hair people make? You see all this makeup? You see this, you see that? They don't even see it. So why bother?
Okay. We say that. But do you know that they also notice it when you don't look good? Even though some people might not want to show it, some men, some alpha males, but then you begin to notice that they are no longer appreciating some certain things, like maybe they don't want to take you to an occasion. And then you'll be wondering, they might not know how to say it, but you see, the moment you always look that good, before the invitation even arrives their table, they've told you about the event that's about to happen. Or, so person is doing 50th anniversary. And if your spouse understands, they will always want you to look that way. They always be proud. It gives your spouse, in fact, let's just use this word, it gives your spouse that pride when he goes out and he knows that his wife will never fall his hand or let him down.
Okay. So the conclusion of that matter is that when you love yourself, you give your spouse a reason to
appreciate you more. Yes.
It's beyond you now.
It's beyond you now. Because you have to show your spouse some level of respectful confidence. Yes. Yes, because we don't want to be overconfident in the home. It can lead to some bad sides. But you have to be it builds trust. It builds trust so that they know that when they are not around you, you're not paving a way that will cast a bad image on something about the family. So,
because that brings to mind, some, you hear some husbands calling their wives and like, hey, what did you said you went to some place, what did you wear?
Exactly.
Like, more like, can I trust how you look?
Yes.
Can I trust how you presented yourself? So it's a big deal, really.
Yeah, it is a big deal, because when you begin to understand that this is important in your family life, is when your husband can trust you blindly to say, I know she can do it and she won't go there and embarrass me. Stepping out and she's got it.
Okay, so that is one arm of it, right? Now the other arm of it is about the children. Let's talk a little more about that.
Grooming. Grooming your children to understand beauty. Not beauty about artificial enhancements, no. It also helps your children to have an appreciation for the good things of life. Not extravagant, nah. Satisfied with, oh, this is beautiful. They know. Because their home is built on good things. What they see, what they feel, how they are treated, mentally, when I say physiologically. So it's important that a woman makes the children understand. Because you see little kids appreciating, oh, I like your gown, builds their confidence. But when you are in a situation where you're always not looking so anyhow, let's be anyhow.
They feel that's the norm.
They feel that's the norm. So when they see it, they are like, they don't even know how to express themselves. So let's even put that way. So it helps with their expression.
Because they can now know the difference between what looks good and what does not look good.
And what is wrong. And what is wrong. You can say, she wore this, but she wasn't looking happy. But if they're used to seeing an unhappy face at home, it's normal.
Just a normal self.
And when they see people cheerful, it looks mechanical. We're looking for a situation where children understand the natural beauty of life. I get to repeat, it's not about makeup. It's not about beauty enhancement.
The joy, the laughter.
The joy, the laughter, the cheerfulness. Making children understand neatness. Because it also goes down to neatness.
Yes, it does.
It does. So they should see that their parents always look neat. So let's use the word looking neat, not just looking beautiful, looking neat. So when they're outside, they know how to compliment and also expression. It helps their confidence when they're around people, even adults.
Okay. So if I go back to our topic, it's love yourself. You are worthy.
Yes.
Now, why do some people decide that, I beg, I'm not going to do all these kind of things. I do okay, I beg. I don't even need this one where we do okay. Or, you know, that kind of sign. You're always not here. You're just not put together. Some people just don't feel they deserve to feel good. They deserve to feel their own love, you know. There's sometimes you just buy things for yourself and it just hits differently from when someone buys something for you. But let me buy for my children. That's my satisfaction. As long as I have food on the table and the children are happy, then I am okay.
You see, Ibera, this thing you're talking about, I see it happen. But there's also something you need to see about, something you might have noticed is the foundation with the present and foundation from the past.
Okay.
Now we're talking about if you do it, your children will learn to grow with it. So let's restart from the past or from the present. So if you see people who are doing it, find out how it was for them coming up to where they are now. They've come up to the point of anyhow goes. It has always been it. They've never been in a position to do better. So if you've been in a position if you've been pushed, if you've been encouraged, if you've been motivated, if you've been constantly told of how good you are, not by way of boosting your ego, I mean in a disadvantaged way. It comes naturally. If you have been groomed to be good, to feel good, to appreciate goodness, you would not find yourself in that situation struggling with trying to balance, or should I not? I beg, I'm okay. Now the present. Some people have lived their lives differently. They're from different backgrounds, but then they get into the family life and things change. So the subconscious isn't helping reality.
So they just change with the change.
They just change with the change. And when you see people like this, sometimes there's like use the word weakness. There's a certain level of weakness within them. And because for you to change, I've been in a situation where I saw a widow rise from the ashes, still living the best of the Christian life, grooming her children to be the best, doctors, doctorate holders, and all. And she was never caught on fresh. Yes. I have seen that. I've lived within that circle of seeing this happen. And you will never see that person being put down or her kids having less, and yet still lived a life of good virtues.
So what you're saying is that it's a product of a decision. You make the decision not to put yourself down.
Don't put yourself down. Disassociate yourself with emotional triggers that will let you down. Find something quality to improve yourself. Learn a habit. When you're alone, read, paint, bead. Let something give you
productive.
Yeah, give you a sense of productivity, progressive thinking. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you're working, it really shouldn't make you feel less, because even a stay-at-home mom does, the work is typical. So appreciate yourself regardless. Whatever your family unit decides about, maybe what you should be doing, make the best of it. If you have to sew, if you have to go into tailoring business, do it and be happy. If you have to go into bidding,
do it with a vibe.
Do it with a vibe. Attract. See, what you are is what you attract.
True.
What you are is what you attract. If you're the type of tailor that doesn't like to sew something beautiful, if you're the type of tailor that doesn't like to feel, if you don't appreciate good things, you won't give your clients a good design.
True.
They won't return.
True.
Or you end up every day dragging yourselves. They are choking you. They are calling you out. They are doing this. Live your life. Live it happy.
Live your life. Live it happy.
Yes.
I think in concluding this first part of this conversation, something you said struck me very deeply. If you love yourself, you put it into the work you do. It shows.
It shows.
Whether you're a tailor, you're a caterer, you are a painter, whatever you do, the love you have for yourself just shows. You infuse that love.
Might I add something? I know of someone who started out, I think, selling drinks or something. And then the fact that she constantly always waved at people, always greeting people, I tell you, it improved her business. You see, people will leave where they were always going to. Come to that woman who is always smiling, who is always happy, who asks you, how was your day? It's life. When you attract goodness, when you have goodness, you attract goodness. It comes to you.
When you have love,
yes,
you attract
love.
Right. You've heard a lot on this first segment. We'll go on a very short break. When we return, there's so much more love to give.
Thank you.
We'll go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Hello viewers, welcome to this week's episode on Health Watch on Advent Cable Network Nigeria. I am Angela Emeka Ebibu.
What we need as humans is to have a good spiritual life. It's more important than having an abundance of possessions without a healthy spirit.
We have issues that relate to sexual affairs. There is something called consent. If a person says no, that means she or he hasn't given their consent.
My mother delivered children on her own. A baby that is too big, how do you want it to come out without having issues?
Your faith does not negate you going for a medical check or engaging in a medical therapy. It doesn't.
The patient has his own rights, and this right has to do with the right patient, the right drug, the right dose, the right duration, you understand? Even the right time in how it is given.
Worthy,
by design. Welcome back. We have been speaking with the amazing Chinwe Odinye. I like to call her Augusta. I don't know.
Well, it's a self-finished thing. You know me too well.
Anyway, so we were talking about self-love, right? Loving yourself. When you give love, you receive love, and love is infused into every aspect of your life, including your profession.
Yes.
Right. So now let's even talk about how to build this love for yourself. Because the truth is, some people don't even know what it means to love yourself. Because they feel that if I take care of my children, take care of my husband, take care of my siblings,
that's enough.
That's enough. They really don't even know what it means to love themselves. So how can we inculcate this, should I say, habit of self-love?
Mm-hmm.
You want to learn how to love yourself. What should I be doing, right, that could show that could tell me that I am loving myself? Okay, more like self-improvement. What can I do to improve myself? Because if you're improving yourself, you're showing yourself love. You're giving yourself the opportunity to learn new things. And when you learn new things, you appreciate, there are some people that when they have a conversation and they ask a question, they answer, they're like, hey, na me toka, I sabi something. That kind of a thing. That makes anybody feel good. The fact that I have something to share, I have something to give. So how can we, get ourselves in the position of loving ourselves?
You have to be open to learning.
Okay.
You have to be open to learning.
Learning what, really?
Now, learning yourself. Knowing yourself from what is good, what is bad, and what is ugly. You have to be able to tell yourself the difference. You go out and you see, there was this time we saw on TV, was he a pure water or granite seller? His let's say uniform or his outfit to work, he hawks granite, was a suit and tie. Mm-hmm. That man loves himself more than even God loves him. I'm telling you. Guess what? He attracted goodness. He attracted love. And love came to him. When you're dealing with him, deal with him with so much respect. You understand that this person, he's not any kind of person that you think doesn't know himself. That's how it comes into every individual. Build your confidence. Tell yourself, I am this, and go with it.
I am worthy.
I am worthy.
By design.
I love myself. I know who I am. I'm not in a competition with anybody. I know my limits. I know my strength. I know my weaknesses and things I can operate on. Allow yourself explore. Unlock the potentials within you. Don't be so caged. Decompartmentalize yourself. Tell yourself you can be more than the person that wakes up in the morning, does this, does that, and the routine is over about yourself. Tell yourself you can
provide value.
You can provide value. I said, the one we saw recently, positive vulnerability.
Yes.
How about that? That's not a bad idea.
You open up yourself.
Open up yourself. Because life is in phases. There's this life of, we are at the childbearing age, we just want to get through the toddler stage, and positive vulnerability is something that takes you through life. At every stage you are, unlock a potential. Be open. Understand your social adaptations. Get a bit universal in some ways of doing things. Don't be too seen as somebody who is always discouraged, someone who is reclusive. Don't be seen as timid. A woman shouldn't be seen as that. You know that we have more strength in our head than in our physical selves. A woman, no offense to the males, but women see beyond what is in front of them. We see what is on the floor, we see what is at our eye range, and we see what is above it.
And we question.
We question everything that happens. We won't even see. So be that person who sees beyond just the obvious and sees the actual. Again, we talk about unlocking your potentials. These are things that you can never exhaust. Grow, keep growing.
Keep growing. True, because growth helps you love. Some people say, I am loving the woman I am becoming. Because you're seeing some progress, you're seeing some positivity, you're optimistic about the future.
Okay.
But if there's nothing to look forward to, there's nothing to love.
At this point, we'll say navigate the storms of negative emotions. Navigate it. If you're going to go around it and pass it, if you're going to go through it and pass it, but
don't let it catch up with you.
Don't let it be like the Red Sea that was parted for you and you just walk through and then you get to greatness. Always strive for greatness. I keep saying this, that everything we are talking about, empowerment, unlocking your potentials, your positive vulnerability, it should never be attached. This is a caveat. This is a warning. It should never be attached to arrogance. Do this and still be the simple, easygoing, but smart, intelligent person you are. Every woman is smart. Have you seen a bus conductor in Lagos calculating money? That's even a man. He might not be able to speak English properly, but he has unlocked his potential. So if you can go through everything you're going through, handle your home, do everything, bring children into the world, groom them, raise them to be. Who says you can't? We see mothers doing graduation with their first child or their last child from university.
True.
Our opportunities are limitless.
You said something really important, and I don't want to forget it. Now, you talked about competition. You should do whatever you're doing without looking at what any other person is doing and all of that. Now, how would comparison hamper self-love? This love for me.
Do you know that it's not possible to live this life and live, L-I-V-E, do what you do to live through it, accomplish without a significant level of competition and comparison. It's unavoidable, but you have to make it healthy. You have to be able to see and understand that it's not do or die, but it is what I can do for myself to be happy and for others to see that I am also genuinely happy. You can't live through life without comparison, but you have to make it healthy. You have to understand yourself, what you can do, your limit. If you compare, let's look at the basic. If you compare the fact that someone is teaching and the person is able to do after school, what's that thing they do for lessons for 3-4 children, and you want to be sure, and the person is big and you want to do that same thing too. Have you gone in to find out the dependency, the support, and everything that person has to be able to do what the person is doing? So if you're going to compare, bring it from a very logical and healthy angle, so that you don't hurt yourself trying to achieve somebody else's dream.
Personally, it just means you don't know who you are, because you're trying to weigh yourself against another person.
Person's.
And The funny thing is, it's like a rat race. You never catch up.
Know your limits.
And so because you never catch up, you feel let down, like you have let yourself down. And you cannot love that person you let down. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I feel like if you love yourself, focus on you. Keep going. Other people could be examples, could be a motivation, but they should not be your standard. Because if somebody else is your standard,
you're getting it wrong.
You're getting it all wrong. You won't be able to love this person you're trying to love. Because you feel there's something wrong with this person, with this me. That is why I'm not able to meet up to this or acquire this or achieve that. Focus on who you are. What are your goals? What are your objectives? What do you want out of life?
It changes the passion. If you keep following, if you want to do it like somebody else, your passion won't be so genuine. When you wake up in the morning, you're not even sure.
If you really want to do it.
If you really want to do it, even at the point where you find the strength to do it, honestly, the result might not really match the energy. So, like I said, if you're going to compare, first look at yourself and know that, can I do it up to stage 5 as this person is doing it? Like, can I be at stage 3 and still be comfortable?
I can't really agree with you. Don't even compare. Focus,
yes.
Focus.
Like you said, focus on your
Head
focus.
Straight to where you're going.
Use it as a motivation.
Motivation is good enough.
Yeah, motivation is very good.
But don't mirror another person's life and try to replicate it for God's sake.
You burn down.
Because you won't be able to love yourself. You will hate the person you become daily until you find the person you're meant to be. That is when you find love for yourself.
There's this wrong narrative I keep hearing. Fake it till you make it. This is it. No, that's just the motivational speakers who tell you aspire to perspire, and you don't need all of that. Make it because you have to. You deserve and desire to make it.
Amazing. Love yourself because you are worthy.
Yes, love yourself.
We keep reminding ourselves of what the conversation is about. You are worthy. Why am I worthy of my love? I think that's an issue we should address. Why am I worthy of my love?
Because you were created in the image and likeness of God. That's it.
So if we are worthy of God's love, we are worthy
of
our own
love. Yes, you deserve it. Desire it. Don't desire it, in a way that you can't get it. Don't, like I said, don't over compare and over compete with others. But desire it because you were brought on this earth to fulfill a mission. So don't allow yourself, just pass through life and then it ends and your name moves, next person. There's this popular saying, put yourself, allow your name to be written on the sands of time.
And should be written in the letters of love.
Love. When your name is written, it should be written into a heart shape form. Something beautiful. Should be remembered for. Your name should be remembered for being an icon of positivity.
Yes. Very, very important.
Worthy of love.
Yes. Because, I remember a scripture that says, is it a scripture? I don't know. But love your neighbor as yourself. Is it in the Bible?
Yes, it's even a commandment.
Oh, okay.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
So love your neighbor as yourself.
Yes.
So you cannot love other people more than you love yourself.
The greatest laws in human existence is that of the 10 Commandments, which you have just quoted one of it. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. and also love yourself.
So that means it's a sin. If you don't love yourself, you are sinning against God.
You are sinning against God.
Buy that dress for this Christmas.
Yes. You know what?
Bake yourself a cake for your birthday.
Do that fine. Go to the market and buy that fine attachment.
Yes.
Get something nice for yourself. Tell yourself, I'm beautiful. Self-confidence also has something to do with some physicalness. If you have to work on some bad habits,
amazing,
to improve yourself,
true, very
please
important.
Do.
Yes.
If you don't love yourself because you do not look good, we're not talking about surgical. If you have that, I don't know.
Look good.
Look good. Exercise. Do you know that people improve their mindset from reading and exercising? Just taking regular walks, power walks, improve to jogging and stuff like that.
Meditate on the word of God.
Read
what does God say about you. Read, meditate, remind yourself. Keep telling yourself what God is saying about you.
If you have to listen to audio books,
audio Bible, on the go, it helps you build your mind.
Audio books, Bibles, audio speeches, podcasts. If you have to, what is about feeding your mind? What you feed your mind is what you bring to the don't feed your mind with things.
Trash.
Don't feed your mind with things that will poison your mind or poison your passion. Keep the focus. Mind the business that pays you. Mind the business that supports your family. Mind the business that supports your existence.
And very importantly, mind your connections, your networks, your associations, your friendships, because those also impact on the way you feel about yourself. We've had a very beautiful conversation on loving yourself because you are worthy. Where we ended it up was that you should love yourself because God loves you. Do everything that makes you feel the love you should feel. Don't just show others love. Show yourself love because you deserve every bit of love you can get. Our Ask Away segment is next. But before then, I'll say a beautiful thank you to this.
Iberi.
My amazing.
You have my Achilles.
My amazing co-talker.
You have my Achilles tender, okay?
Thank you for every bit of time spent on the show. We appreciate it. And we enjoyed ourselves. Right,
Thank you so much.
Our Ask Away segment is next. Do stay with us. Our Ask Away segment today will be focused on the issue of Asoebi. How much should I spend on Asoebi? Should I be part of every friend of group? How do I manage those friendships? My friends will get angry, or some of them might refuse to talk to me if I don't contribute to the Asoebi, I don't wear the clothes, or there's a lot going on now. People just want to identify with their friends. How do I cope with this pressure? Augusta, how do we manage it?
How do we manage it?
This Asoebi wahala, right? I am this Saturday, this wedding. Next Saturday, that burial. Next Saturday, naming. All of
presentation.
How do we cope? We're trying not to step on the toes of our friends. Somebody is so bothered about this. And I'm sure this is a general concern.
Do you know that being on Asoebi, buying an Asoebi is, at the end of the day, is triple the amount of that
the original
Asoebi.
Cost, right?
Why do we do this to ourselves? I don't know. But I can't question a bride, I can't question a family for what they are doing. Now, the angle of this Asoebi thing, how can we avoid it? I remember, I think it was in the university, I heard it for the first time, that friends are meant for inconveniences. But you can choose the extent to which you can be inconvenienced. So I think it's let's start with the fact that accepting the fact that telling yourself confidently, I won't do this, but I'll be very polite. And honestly, if you're that is how you know how reasonable your circle of friends are.
Okay.
You get? So please you know I cannot afford this. This are in place in my life, and I must take care of that. I must take care of them. I already don't even tell them, oh, you know, I already bought for so person, because they say, you bought for you cannot buy for me. If somebody decides to put their Shibi at 150,000, you shouldn't put that cost on somebody else. If you decide to sell your an Shibi for 150,000, it will be unreasonable for you to say, all my friends must, capital letter must, buy. No.
Okay. So like you said, it tells you the kind of people you have in your circle of friends. So that means maybe you might have to cut off or take care of some friendships.
After the fact, not before.
After, right? Okay. So, but I think another important thing is for people to understand that everybody should have a budget.
You have a budget.
Budgets for issues like that. Once you have exceeded the budget for that issue, I can support with them. Please send me your account number. I can support you with 10,000 naira, with 5,000 naira, with 20,000 naira. I thank God for your big day, and I pray that you enjoy your marriage or whatever you're celebrating. Chicken, that's my opinion on that issue.
I'll use an illustration. There's this friendship that I know that went sour because one didn't buy her brother's Ashebi. But what the person who got offended didn't realize was that friend's mom was undergoing chemotherapy and every other thing that to do with cancer treatment. Eventually, battle was lost, and then
died.
you have like when I told you I couldn't buy you a Ashebi, you were angry. I couldn't tell you because at that point you were preparing, you were high in the sky you were elated about the wedding. So on this, why did I bring this illustration? People might not be open about their problems, but learn to respect
their no
when someone says no. Even if the person has been outrightly a stingy person, let that person be stingy, allow that person. And if you know that this person, but you buy your person, you don't want to buy my own, take it, just take it. And take it and just don't create the animosity. Let the amicable friendship still continue. If the person will make it, person can make it. If the person will support you with some token, please appreciate.
That is the conclusion of the whole matter. Please, let's be more compassionate because we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what pressures people have to deal with on a daily basis. That's all for our Ask Away segment today. And this is where we'll draw the curtain on today's show. Remember, you are worthy by design. Till we come your way again next week, same time, same station, I remain Iberi James. See you next time.